Hey everyone, welcome back to day 22 of my journey to financial freedom through trading. As you can see, today is a small green day. I think it's about 99 cents. Go over today's recap. Yeah, 99 cents. So small green day, but I executed really well. And I'm quite pleased by it. So, um, yeah, I traded this little micro pullback in here. I got great execution on this. I got in, if we zoom in really kind of far, I got in on this candle for the break. My stop was down here, and we got that squeeze up, and I scaled out at 514, which was definitely early. Um, yeah, this was an early sell, but then I got a nice fill at 548, which is where, you know, it was a nice fill right below the $0.50. It was a good sell. So yeah, I got a nice trade on this one. Yeah, we'll kind of go over it. I did something kind of silly. I wasn't really watching it right here. So I drew this descending trend line connecting the tops of these, which it respected really well into a wedge and some support line right here. So I would, you know roughly when it should break and go or break and fail. Um, so it breaks really strong, this trend line. We'll look at it on the 10-second. So for some reason I was looking away. Um, Basically, I really wish I had gotten in here. If I was watching it, I honestly might have. This would have been a great trade for the break over this trend line and this candle or candle micro pullback there. Get the squeeze up, get your, I guess I don't know, maybe you could call this the second micro pullback. You can call this one the first. So you get your second micro pullback. Nice execution. The third one I didn't take. I thought it was too extended. It didn't work out too well. Um, didn't work out too well. I thought it was just a little bit extended. You get this pop here after this little pullback here. So this candle opens here, wicks down, breaks, closes. This one opens, you get the squeeze up, and then it flushes out. So this could have been a bull flag pattern. It did fail, but you would have had enough time to exit the position and make some profit. Then it kind of tries to form this ABCD pattern here, but because there's this topping tail here, it doesn't really work. So it gives a little false break and flushes. And you can see on the 5-minute chart, it had a little, kind of like a bull flag false break. So you see the candle over candle up here. I know it's really small, but see candle over candle up here, and then it flushes out and you would have got stopped out. But yeah, so that was that trade. And then I had another trade on it earlier, 7:03. So right after the 7 a.m. pop, yeah, they did give a 7 a.m. pop. Well, no, not really, actually. Not right at 7. It was a little bit before 7. And then so I got in here for the bull flag, which was a really great entry. Um, Skilled out up here into weakness. Probably a little bit too soon. Honestly, you know, there's a weird balance between holding winners long to hit your like 2-to-1 profit to loss ratio or wherever you set your profit targets, and then they go right next to it and then flush all the way down. So recently, I mean, I can kind of show my, you know, well, this isn't really gonna paint the picture because it's mostly been these days. Um, but these days, I think we're all red days. Yeah, I've been not in the best stretch, mostly just because I haven't been following my rules too well. and executing too well. But you could see like in here, there were a lot of trades where I'd easily get a 1-to-1, even like a 1.5-to-1. And then I would still be holding and I didn't scale out at all because I was just waiting for the 2-to-1, and then it'd go all the way down to my stop and I'd get stopped out and take a relatively big loss. Um, so I was, that was something that I came into the day trying to fix. And my other pre-market goal was to stick to the most obvious stock. Because the last couple of days I've been like, there's one obvious stock, and then I get distracted by other ones popping up, mostly like on lighter volume, not making great moves, and then I kind of miss the move on the main stock. So yeah, but that was today. We can watch the video for it. I'm gonna move my broker out of the way so there's not that box around it. By the way, at the end of this video, I'll put a link to my resources playlist, which I've been working on, and I think you'll really enjoy some of that. So in here, I sit down. Let's see. Let's just go through all this. So I sit down. It's of course right about 7 a.m. You just get everything set up. Check out NUWE. Starts making some moves right there at 7. So there's a little micro pullback here, and then 7 comes and gives you the pop up. I don't know, it's probably not a trade I'd want to take, but I recognize it. And then once it starts dumping, I'm like, oh, I need to put my clock back up. So I do that. Boom, boom, boom. And then we start to form this. Let me speed up. We start to form a bull flag. So you'll see that here, this is the 1-minute chart. Then here on the 1-minute chart, they're same. So start forming this bull flag. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna get in for the break over this level, right? If it comes up here or if it forms another candle, however it works, I'm gonna take the bull flag here. It's above VWAP. The 9 EMA is right there, so there's a lot of support. So it should be a relatively low risk trade. Start to have some buying coming in. Boom, I hit it there. And I think it was just the time that I pressed the hotkey, but I did get in a little bit late, or rather gotten in here. And because there's all this support in the future, this could definitely be somewhere where I take a start or an add to the position. But I'm kind of trying to just simplify it and focus only on the candle over candle breaks. So my stop is the low, which would be about 20 cents, which is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit high. I think the risk to reward on this wasn't amazing. But we get that nice pop. I scale out a little bit. Um, yeah, so the risk to reward, mostly from my execution, um, wasn't great. But, I still got profit on it. I think there's definitely opportunity on this. You just have to cut your losers. You just have to cut your losers extremely quickly. And that's something I haven't done too well in the past. Not like it breaks my stop and then I sell it way down here, but like it starts showing obvious signs of weakness and I wait till it hits my stop, which, sometimes it's definitely good, but there's a level of discretion that I need to learn um, in that. But yeah, I took this trade. I'm not bad, or I'm not mad about it. Um, it was like a super low. Well, it wasn't super low. It was a pretty low risk trade. As far as monetary, like I would have lost like 40 cents. So not much. But it was worth it to get the execution and I got a little profit on it. So, it was a good trade. It's a good trade. Happy I took the trade. So it forms another little bull flag. Kind of grinds up. It doesn't really give a nice clean pop. And then here, so this is it's interesting. So it forms starting to form a bull flag right here. And then it gives an ABCD pattern with a false breakout candle right here. So you'll see that. So, but I think why that happened is because the MACD was negative. Just kind of what I highlighted there. Then bounces off VWAP a little bit, gives a little squeeze up, and then you get a false break on the bull flag. We got stopped out there. So yeah, that was this kind of first wave there. A couple other stocks popped up, not too interested in it. BIYA just had a super light volume. The spreads were big, couldn't really manage risk on that. And in here, bum, bum, bum. So NUWE was like the main stock of the whole day. This stock gave some moves. Pulled up here, had lighter volume. It was kind of making this curl up. This one, as you can see on ChartsWatcher, it showed a super high float, which isn't actually accurate. So I didn't even see it hitting my scanner, which is a little bit unfortunate. I honestly probably wouldn't have even traded it, but this could have been a nice entry there. If someone took that, good job. That would be a nice pullback pattern with good support there. So, anywho, and then I draw this um, descending resistance trend line on NUWE, and then just a little ascending support line there. So have a little wedge. So I'm thinking if it breaks above it, it's going to squeeze up. If it breaks below it, it's going to fall back down a bit. PNN or PN popped up. It was more expensive. Spreads were bigger. I didn't think I could really manage risk well on it and do well on it. And then let's watch this price action. So I pull this stock up in UWE. So I go back to it because I mean it's the main stock, it's the most obvious. So I'm waiting for it to break the line. Looking at the 5 minute. 5 minute shows that it's finding buyers down here and resistance right here. Um, and I mean I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was looking at one of my other monitors doing something else, and I don't really realize that starting to squeeze up here. So you get the squeeze up. Can we get the break? Okay, so you get this red minute forming there. Then you get the break over. So look at that pop. That's a huge instant pop. Get the break over. Your stop could have been down here for that kind of first trade. So we're gonna watch this back, and I'm just gonna play the whole move here, and then give my commentary later. But you get a nice move there. So red candle forms on the 10-second. You get the break, you can buy there. Boom, nice pop up. Um, yeah, so huge pop up. Now I'm waiting for a micro pullback. So now I'm like, oh wow, that was a big pop. Can we get a micro pullback? Gives a little more squeeze up before it gives a pullback. Um, Watching here. Okay, so now we're looking for a micro pullback. We have that first red candle. That's good. I'm ready to execute on the candle over candle. Get in there for the candle over candle. Doesn't quite work. My stop is 480. Stop is 480. Breakout, nice. Nice pop. Nice scale out there. I definitely scaled out too quick on that first pop. The second pop, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it definitely could have held a little bit longer. But I got a nice pop on it. My risk was only 10 cents. I got an average of like almost 40 cents a share on that. So that's a 4-to-1 risk to reward. And that's a great trade. That's a great trade. And then you get the candle over candle there. That could have been your micro pullback entry risking of 520. So, but it's a little bit extended off the 90, so that's why I didn't take it. Um, yeah, one thing that was nice about this stock is, of course, it met 5 pillars. I'm not sure why my 5 pillars catalysts there at the bottom hasn't been pulling them up, but they pull up super quickly on my other screen. So that's a little weird. It's a little annoying. Um, I don't know if I just need to like refresh it. I've tried to like refresh it. I'm not sure. It's a little annoying, but it did meet 5 pillars. It was obvious, and the spreads were so nice throughout really the whole move. They're pretty small spreads, so that means that you can get in and out really quickly without having to worry about, you know, losing 5 or 10 cents each time you buy and each time you sell. Instead, it's just 1 cent. So it's nice, nice light spread. So you see the second. Well, this would have been, maybe you could say this is the third. It's kind of a micro pullback here didn't quite work too well. I found that on parabolic moves, um, typically they give this like leg up, and this is just from what I've seen. Typically, they give this leg up, and then they need a little bit longer consolidation here before they pop up again for the 90 MA to kind of come up um, and meet them up here, or meet the price up here. So yeah, now you could be watching for a 1-minute play. It is extended. It is extended. You still could get in on the 1-minute candle over candle as soon as it happens, but it is extended. So you could get in right there, right? Looking for a squeeze back up. You get the squeeze back up, boom. Very nice squeeze up. You know, that would have been a nice move up. Not too high risk to reward. Um, Entry would have been like 545 or so, risk off 520, that's 25 cents. 50, you would have got just about 2-to-1 if you sold at the very top. Um, but yeah, and then it gives a pretty big knife down. I think that's mostly because it's pretty extended, but there's definitely opportunity for that first 1-minute pullback there. I should have taken that for sure. Not sure why I didn't, but that's okay. I took the micro pullback. I executed well. I'm happy with that. I didn't get in my own way too much. It was a win. It's a win. Um, yeah, and then you're still watching this consolidation because we had that huge topping tail on this red candle right here. I'm a little concerned that it's probably gonna continue to flush down rather than make a nice move up. Um, and this couldn't be an ABCD pattern now because it broke below here. Um, so this would have been the low point here. This point broke below it, and then also this point broke above it. So you couldn't really consider this to be an ABCD anymore, I don't think. But um, still relatively similar. So if we just kind of speed this up a little bit. We can see that, like, I mean, your entry would be here, but because of this huge topping tail, I just don't think that would be a great trade. Um, or there. You do get a little squeeze up after that candle over candle. Um, then it kind of gives us, I don't know, false break, I guess, and then pulls back a bit. Um, it's pretty extended. The 5-minute chart has a tweezer top, as you can see up here. Um, yeah, and then you get pretty nasty rejection there also. So this area was just kind of chop. Um, I don't think there's a great place to trade it in here. And it breaks down quite a bit. MNTS doesn't have any volume in it. If I pull that up, um, just take a picture of that for the slide resource I'm working on, which I'll show you guys in a bit. Watch it, admire this beautiful micro pullback. Like that's just such a nice pattern and it worked really well, so it's good. And then I just prepared for the open and, you know, went to go get food and stuff, so I was gone. And yeah, I didn't take any trades after the open, but I was just watching the price action a little bit. Um, Here and there, just kind of seeing what is working at the open, what's not, because I mean I don't typically trade the open. I like to extend into trading the open a little bit, but um I don't know. It's different, I feel like the price action does. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out I will put some resources. Check out the description for resources, of course, but I'm working on a couple of things that I think you guys will enjoy. So I'm working on this charts slideshow. So this is basically just an extension of some of Ross's free resources, which are really amazing. You check out this one especially. So it's basically an extension of this slide presentation that he has on his website for free, which is a great resource. But you can see in here, you have access to just go in here, go through the slides, um, has rules, visuals. I'm still working on some of these, but chart patterns. And what's nice is I take a picture of my entire screen so you can see, you know, where it was in the top gainers list. You can see what news it had. You can see, if it met the criteria. You can see if it was like hitting the scanners, and then you can see multiple charts. So you can get multi-chart or multi-time frame alignment. So this should be a great resource. There's a bunch of charts in here, as you can see. I don't just include ones that work. Like I include ones that fail, what to watch out for. Like watch out for these light volume plays. So this one was light volume. Price action was pretty choppy. This one was light volume, you know, had a little failed with a big spread. This one was light volume, had big spread, and gave a flush out. this one. So you can see, and I go 10-second charts, 1-minute charts, 5-minute charts, and I'm working on obvious stocks all day. So you can see how kind of longer continuation plays typically go. I really don't understand these well yet, so this should be something I need to learn too. But yeah, I think this should be a great resource for um y'all. And if you find like patterns between this, like maybe I don't know, anything about, s- these kind of patterns are working the best, or these stocks work the best when they meet these certain criteria or anything like that. Yeah, there's only 59 slides right now. I'm working on it every day. I add a few more. So, but if you find any patterns like that, you can comment them on this video. You can comment them anywhere. I definitely love to hear it, and so would any others that check this out. So yeah, check this out, and then Google Docs. I'll have all these PDFs that I've created. Um, Before they're in the Whop community, I'll try to link the Google Docs now, just so it's easier to access for you guys. So yeah, I'm working on some resources there. Check those out. I'm gonna do a monthly review at some point soon. This month was kind of rough, but I've learned a lot from it, so I'll probably do that this weekend. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay green. God bless.